Hey everyone across the interwebs. This is Bradley Vinson, aka Bradley Teaches, aka Alana's Pawpaw, and we're about to get started with our next installment of the Ecamm Video Graphics Workshop with yours truly, Bradley Teaches. So I'm making sure that we're coming across in all the different places because this is filmed live in front of a studio audience. So I want to make sure that everybody is good to go. Let me know that you're in the house and actually where you're coming from. We'd love to know where you're coming from to watch this video. We have it in a few places, but I want to make sure. Cool, cool, cool. I see y'all coming in. The Be Love family's here. Owen is here. Carolina Coops videos is here. Okay. Looks like we're coming in good. And we're a couple of minutes early. I always like I can't do the countdown timers because I can't keep myself from jumping in and starting to talk and stuff. So I always try to put on a timer, but I never go by it. So I put up the 2-minute early timer so I can jump in and do different things. How you doing, Mark from Puerto Rico? Let me see if I can start kicking some of these to the screen. Let's see how these work. Go back here to the top. We got Owen here in the house. Hey, Owen, good to see you. We got the Be Love Inc. fam in the house. Shantiva, is this Shantiva? Let me know. Good to see you. Got Carolina Coops in the house. So thank you all for being here. And we're less than a minute away from the official start, but I see y'all coming in. So awesome, awesome. The comments are flying in and I definitely appreciate that. Okay. Sounds good. Good to see you, Elaine. We got Mark here. All right, y'all, from Puerto Rico. Okay. Okay, we got RV or TV back in the house. Okay. Good, good, good. All right. We got Ben in the house. All right, y'all. Got some regulars here. Got a few new people here. What's up, DJ Strick in the house? Okay, y'all. So we're at 2 o'clock now. So we're going to move this thing forward. As always, I am Bradley Vinson. Bradley Teaches, better known as Alana's Pawpaw. And we're going to do the Ecamm Live workshop, graphics workshop. This is our weekly video tutorial, video review, chatting it up, answering your questions about video graphics. And we're going to start off with what I have already that was submitted. But if you all have questions, throw them into the comment stream. And they're flying in pretty heavy right now, but I will check them and we'll get your questions answered. I'm just going to start at the top of my list that I had from my submissions. And we're just going to work our way from there and make the best of this hour, y'all. So the first question I had was from Mike, and he sent a question asking, can he get sound from an animated overlay and still have sound for your camera in the same scene? Here's the problem that I think you're running into, Mike. Overlays are different than videos. Yes, the overlay can be an animated image or a video, but real overlays in Ecamm, because we're in the Ecamm Video Graphics Workshop, in Ecamm, overlays cannot have sound. Now, you can play a sound effect at the same time that an overlay plays and get pseudo sound for that overlay. But the video that you save as an overlay cannot have audio in it. That's really the difference between a video overlay and just a video in Ecamm. If you had a video, you could have audio. You have a video overlay, there's no audio. So hopefully that answers your question, because the overlay can't have audio. You can't play camera audio with it. So yeah, so overlays cannot have audio. Owen had a question, and Owen is actually a new friend of mine, and we've kind of chatted it up a little bit through Messenger. But Owen is actually doing tutorials also, right? And he started doing some tutorials with Keynote, and he sent me one of his tutorial videos, and he asked me to look at the graphic that he was showing people how to make. And what do I think about it, right? So I'm going to drag this into my Ecamm window. So here's the graphic here. This is Owen's graphic. And he was teaching people how to make this subscribe button, right? And he did a real good job on it. I liked it. You use motion that was attached to a path. It was really smooth. The timing was good. One thing that I would say about any kind of graphics that you make that are duplicating other graphics, don't worry about matching them exactly, right? Because of how you're doing it, it's going to be a little bit different than any other software would have done it. So just kind of do it for your audience. If the flow is good, it doesn't take too long, because any kind of animation that's on the screen, you do not want it to interfere with the timing of your video that's actually live, right? So I even did a what I call a mid-roll call to action overlay, right? And I had it set up to be 7 or less seconds because I didn't want it to break up the flow of the video. Come in, do what it has to do, get out. So you want to make sure that your speed of the overall video is good. Your tutorial was good. But I would just say work on the speed of the animations, because most people know what they are visually. A lot of people are not really reading them, but they know that there's motion there, and they know that red rectangle. Once they see that S, they know it's the subscribe button, right? So you don't have to take a lot of time doing those motions. Just kind of play through it. It's a call to action. They can't literally click it, right? So you just want to kind of play through it to give them the action of what they could do to subscribe to your channel. But it was a great graphic, great animation. I like it. Your talk through was really well. So stick with it, man. You did a good job with that. Elaine asked the question. Elaine had an introductory video for her channel, and it's about 3 or 4 minutes long. And it was kind of a kinetic text kind of design. And I'll show you a screen from it. So this is a screen from it here. Not sure why I can't move my stuff, but anyway. All right, so that's a screen from it right here. And what she was asking about, because she has a lot of animations in it, right? A lot of things going on. And she was wondering, is there a way just to look at 3 or 4 steps of her animation process and not the full animation? And this is what she means. Let me go to just one of my existing Keynote files, and I'll show you what she was asking about. All right, so this is, and let's go here to my Keynote. All right, so this is my my mid-roll call to action that I did, that I gave away a few weeks ago, right? What Elaine is asking about is right here. There's all these things going on in your build order. And what she was wondering is, can I just preview one thing in the build order, or 3 or 4 things in the build order? Unfortunately, you can't, unless you break something out of the build order. So if I went to the logo here and I did on click instead, right? It broke out that animation. So if I have that clicked and then I start, it only works that portion of the animation. So that's one way to do it. You literally have to break your animation, and it'll give you starting points to test, right? Because I knew that this was a build width #1 and had a delay on it. Remember what it was before you broke it, so you could put that information back into your window right down here. But if you break your animation, so I'll go to my logo thing, for instance, and I go to on click, that puts a gap here and it breaks the animation. If you do that, you can preview portions of your animation. Another way to break it down is that, like she said in her question, have multiple slides. So have some of your animation on one slide, have that slide transition to another slide that does more animations. So there's different ways to do it that way, but this is the only way to preview a portion of your animation list, is to break it. You have to separate things that are going with other things. Change it to an on click, and then you can preview that section. So that's the best way to do that, Elaine. So hopefully that was helpful for you. All right, Shantiva right? Shantiva had a question where she was saying she is unable to get her animations to export with a transparent background. She was having issues with that. She's still getting black backgrounds. She sent me one of her videos that actually had black in the background and not transparency like she should have had, right? And let me go here to make sure that you guys can hear me and all that, because I'll be going for 10 minutes with my audio on mute. and and see that you guys can't hear me. Okay. Great. Okay, cool. So far, so good. All right. And apparently you guys can hear me, because I'm notorious for putting myself on mute and having my cell phone screen like this talking about Keynote and y'all not being able to see it. So appreciate you holding on with me through that little break to make sure everything's still going well. But Shantiva had a question about holding on to the transparency of her videos to use them as overlays. And all of her overlays are actually showing up with a black background. So let me show you what Shantiva wants. And then I'm going to show you, Shantiva, how to get that. So here is an example of an overlay with a transparent background. Right? This is going to play through. As you saw the bars come up, it's transparency back there, and you can still see me through the video, right? So that's what Shantiva is attempting to do. So here's the telltale sign of not being able to have transparent videos. Let me go to Keynote here. What happens, and this is the reason I tell everybody to start off with a basic white animation or basic white presentation, excuse me. Start off with a basic white presentation. Make sure nothing on the screen is clicked. And then when you go to Format, Color Fill, No Fill. Now, what people typically do, they may fill it with black, thinking that that's transparent. Black is not transparent, although it's showing you black for transparent in Keynote. But this black is a no fill black versus I filled it with black. And excuse that talking in circles, but all of that means no fill. It's going to show black, but it's transparent. So now we're going to do, let's just do a simple animation of a box going across the screen. And let me make my screen smaller. Okay. I'm going to put the box all the way over here, and I'm going to go to Format, Animate, Build In, and we're going to make it move. Right? So you just have a blue box going across the screen. That's the animation. Simple, right? Nothing is clicked on, and we make sure in Format that the slide fill, background fill is no fill, right? So now we're going to File, Export it. So File, Export to Movie. And here we go. We're going to go to Next Slide, Next Build, 00, Resolution, Custom, which is fine. Now I'm using the newest version of Keynote. If you're in an older version of Keynote, the custom resolution will actually, you have to pick custom, and then it gives you more options, which will then list Apple ProRes 4444. That is what gives you transparency. That and clicking the box, export with transparent backgrounds. Both of these things have to be selected. Now, if you have an older version of Keynote, you pick custom resolution, and then you'll see Apple ProRes as an option. If you have the newest version, like what I'm running, it's now called compression type, and it's in its own drop-down box. But it's Apple ProRes 4444. I'm going to go to Next, and I'm going to export it to my desktop. I'm going to call it just --000, so it pops up to the top of my screen. So export that. All right, and let's go back to our main screen, and let me go find that video. Let's turn this video off. Don't need that one. And here we go. Box went across the screen very fast. Let me play it again. Right? So that's a transparent background video with an animated box going across, right? So to make sure you have a transparent background video. Let's go back. Make sure everything is clicked off on your screen. You're in format, background, no fill. It's going to turn the screen black, but it's transparent. That is the key to it. First thing, nothing is clicked on, background, no fill, which means you're filling or taking the fill off of your presentation slide. You want to go to File, Export to Movie. I usually put zeros right here because I don't want my video delayed. But here's what you want to watch out for. Compression type, Apple ProRes 4444, export with transparent backgrounds. Anything other than Apple ProRes 4444 will not have a transparent background. It will be black or whatever color you have as your background. That's what color it's going to be, right? So Shantiva, I hope that helped you out with that. And let's go back to our main screen here. I think that covers, it does not cover everything. We actually had one more question from Miss Callie. And Miss Callie had some general questions about her thumbnails that she designs for her yoga studio or her yoga classes, right? And I'm going to grab just one of these. I had to look at a few of them. So here is that. Yeah, and I put over my face, no big deal. All right, so here's her yoga thumbnail, right? There's a couple of things here that I would just watch out for as it relates to doing thumbnails. Make sure that your contrast between the square that you're using or the background you're using and your text has a lot of contrast, right? Make the text and that big box bigger. I'd make it fill up over half the screen. And then as you can cut around your body on that one side, even fill up that whole side with that color, right? Also, look for using fewer words. I wouldn't use the word yoga. You don't have to. They're on a yoga channel. Or you can say, because they see you doing a pose, right? I remember one other pose that you had about back pain. Let me see if I can find that one. Yeah, shoulder pain, right? So you don't have to say yoga for shoulder tension. You can just say relieve shoulder tension, or use as few words as possible, bigger words, bolder words for them to stand out. Even slide yourself even further over to one side and have a bigger block area for your text. The text is what's going to draw people in. Your picture will definitely draw folks in. I would do more of the poses that you're teaching, and then just have the descriptive text real big, 1 or 2 words, maybe 3 words. Relieve shoulder tension, relieve stress, general fitness, right? But you're doing yoga poses. And even you can have yoga at the bottom. I think we called it chocolate yoga. I forget the name of it. Sorry about it if I forget the name of your studio. Yeah, but you want to have bigger text, bolder text, easy to read on a mobile device or something like that, and fewer words, right? And you can even zoom in on yourself of the point of position that you are focusing on. So if it's a shoulder, zoom in kind of like I am, right? What you're posing, and even have an arrow pointing to your shoulder and say relieve shoulder pain, right? So different things like that. So those are definitely different things you can do as it relates to that. All right, y'all. So let me go back and see if we have any new questions. Can you do a fly-in graphic overlay? Yeah, actually, I wonder if the square I just did was that kind of fly-in. But let me know if you want something else. I can actually definitely create something more specific to what you're asking for. So, so definitely give me a little more information about that, and I can create something closer to what you're actually asking for. Can you fly in a video? Yeah. No, you can't. Well, there's different transitions and things like that you can do, right? That are built into Ecamm. You can definitely transition to a screen that has that video on it. But as far as flying in, you could do a presentation, right, in Keynote with a video in a window that moves in and then starts playing. You can do something like that. So yeah, so those are options. Okay, you guys can hear me crystal clear. That's cool. Appreciate that, Mr. Miyagi. Appreciate it. All right. I have a flyer that I want to fly in. Okay, so yeah, so if the flyer was a graphic, you can easily fly that in, right? Kind of like when I do my sidebar animations. So let's go back to Keynote. And we can actually use the square for that, right? So let's put the square. So this is your flyer, and it can have all the text or whatever you want on it. Or you know what, even better, so it can be more of a graphic. Let's just do an actual graphic, right? So that way you know that it can be done. And I had a graphic. Oh, here we are. We're going to fly in Miss Callie's yoga graphic. Okay. So here's a graphic, which could be your flyer or whatever else. You can do a screenshot of it. And I want it to end up here. And I'm going to go to animate, and we're going to move this one in, right? But we're going to move it in from right to left. So we don't want it to come that far from the screen, right? Then stops, and I can have it bounce. And then after a certain amount of time, I can actually even have it leave the screen, right? So I'm going to go to build out, and we're going to have it move again, move out. But we'll have it move top to bottom, right? And preview that. Okay. So now what I want to do is when I'm in my animate palette, let's go to build order. And the first thing will come in after the transition. Let's go 2 seconds. Then the second one will be after build number 1. See how I jammed them together? Then we'll let it sit on screen for about 3 seconds, then leave, right? So nothing is there. Let's preview it. So nothing is there. I'm talking about my yoga thing. It slides in. I'll talk a little bit more about my yoga thing. Then it'll slide out, right? And so now we're going to export this with a transparent background. So let me show you how it works. File, export to movie. Let's close that. We don't need that. And 00, as I always do. Apple ProRes 4444. And we're going to make this a bunch of dashes and then yoga. So I can easily find it on my desktop. My desktop is junky. All right. So now we're going to go back to the main screen of Keynote. I'm going to go find that file on my junky desktop. There we go. And I'll be talking about yoga. The yoga thing flies in. I'm going to talk about relieving my shoulder tension about my yoga. Then it goes away, right? So you can easily do that with any graphic that you add or want to add to your live video in Ecamm, right? Go into Keynote, drag it in, do your animations on it, export it as a transparent background video. Then when you bring it into Ecamm, right, you can play it. So I'm here talking about my yoga stuff. And let's see, let's go one more time. All right, so I'm here talking about my yoga stuff. Yoga comes in, I'm gonna talk about relieving the tension in my shoulder. And then that can go off the screen, I can keep on talking, right? So that's one way to do that type of animation. So hopefully that helps. Let me know if you're digging that. Yes, the trivia game. You did ask that question. Let's talk about that real quick too. So hopefully, Elder Jesse, hopefully that helps out with the with your flyer that you want to bring in. Just drag and drop that into Keynote, do your animations on it, and bring it into Ecamm. You're good to go. All right. Yes, this is the live event will be available for review later on. It will be here in the Ecamm YouTube channel. I'm not sure where you're watching it. It's on the Ecamm YouTube channel right now. It's on my Bradley Teaches YouTube channel. If you're watching in either of those places, it will still be there. I'm not sure how long Ecamm may keep it. I'm going to keep them indefinitely, so you can always go back to my page and watch it. If you're on Facebook and some other places that may be watching it right now, it will not be in those places permanently. Once we shut down the live is over everywhere except these YouTube channels. So you need to come back to the YouTube channels to watch it, but they will be available there. Okay. Can Keynote be updated? Yes. And Keynote is a free update because Keynote is free on your Mac. If you have a Macintosh, you have Keynote for free. Depending on your operating system is what version of Keynote you can use, right? So if you keep your operating system updated, you can also update your Keynote. You want to go to the apps interface for your desktop or laptop and look for updates. Keynote will be in there. If it doesn't show up, just do a search for Keynote in your apps interface and it will be there, right? But it's a free update. It's going to update as much as you need it. Okay, let me scroll back to Be Love. Okay. How do you make trivia games in Keynote? Very good question. All right. So there's a couple of ways, there's multiple ways to do it. I'll show you ways that I do it, right? So let me go here to my desktop and look up game shows. Okay, let's go here. And I'm going to open up my game shows. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to Keynote. So this is my game shows presentation, and I am doing this to utilize two features. The feature of Keynote Play Presentation in Window and the feature of Ecamm Camera Overlays. So this is the way that I am doing my game shows right now. Game show, trivia, however you want to call it. This is how I'm doing mine right now, right? So let's take this version, right? And I'm going to play through the animation, then I'm going to show you how I use it in Keynote. So let's go to build order and preview, right? Oh, let me go here. Now, all of these are on-click animations because I'm going to do this manually. So show the question, show all the answers, show the right answer, right? So those are the animations. And as you see here, I give myself an indicator of what answer is the right answer by having this A in the corner. I also have a B in the corner if B is right, a C in the corner if C is right. Now I'm going to show you how this works in Ecamm. So I'm going to do this first. I'm going to go to play. Let's turn this off. And I'm going to go to play slideshow in window. And it's now just turned into a window presentation. So now I'm going to go back to Keynote. Let me go to one of my copies of my Keynote window. So the first thing I'm going to do is crop the fill to make it fill it up. And let me turn off my bubble because we don't need that. Okay, so now I'm going to go here to my camera overlay, and I'm going to change the camera overlay to custom. And I'm basically, I can have two people here. It's just me talking to my audience or whoever else, right? So here I am doing this, and I know that the A answer is right. And now I am back in my Keynote, and you don't even know I'm back in Keynote right now, right? But I can say, okay, here's my question, right? And I'm waiting for answers. People can come in with their answers through chat or whatever else. I show all the answers, the possible answers. And how I'm doing this, I'm hitting the right arrow in Keynote because this is a live Keynote presentation playing in a window, and now I'm using a camera overlay in Ecamm on top of it. And I can even go backwards if I want to, right? And that's another trivia question, right? So this is a different layout that I did for trivia question. So question, all the answers, the right answer, right? So that's one way to do it dynamically. Another way to do it, let me turn this off from play slideshow and window. Another way to do it is to have each question as an overlay and then show the answer as an additional overlay on top of that. That's a way to do it. But the way that I'm doing it right now, as in play a live slideshow in a window, use my arrow key to go through all the questions and answers, and I can play it live in my Ecamm presentation. And I can always go back to Keynote, edit the questions, edit the answers, put in different layouts, and all these things are just live, right? And this is something that I made available through my Gumroad store. But you can easily do something like this of your own, right? Just have, make a slide with your question on it, and then have the next slide show the answer, right? And then when you bring it into Ecamm, you just right arrow yourself through it. So that's an easy way to do that. And what I had before, I actually did all these things, right? They autoplay. What I did before is I had my countdown timer was a trivia question, right? But that was a video. So it would show a question and show an answer automatically. It wouldn't wait on people to give the answer. The way that I just showed you is more interactive because the slide, you manually control that and you can wait on answers. You can talk between showing the question and the answers and the right answer, right? So that's a good way to be more interactive with your crowd, is to play the slideshow in a window function with the camera overlay. So hopefully that helped you, Shantiva. Let me know if that works for you all. All right, everybody. Are there any more questions? Let me see what else you got here. Hey, chocolate twist yoga. There you go. Yeah, I just did some demos answering your questions. So if you missed them, please watch the replay. And hopefully that'll answer your questions for you. If you need some more in-depth answers, you can always shoot me a DM or jump in onto the next live. I can definitely help you out. Or if you have a new question that's not related to your thumbnails or something like that, go ahead and ask that about graphics, and I can help you with that real quick too. Cool. I love seeing that when people say that this was helpful. Okay, I dig that. Cool. Any more questions, y'all? I am here for another half hour. So let me know what you're feeling. Let me know what you're doing. Let's go back here. All right. So let me know what else you guys got going on. I'm going to scroll back through your chat things here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the Gumroad store. Let me see. I can put the link in there. Let's see. Yeah, that will take you to the store if you guys want to see it. No big deal either way. But like I said, I do tutorials on these things too. So you can always take advantage of a tutorial, or I call them head start graphics, right? If you want to go buy it instead, you just drop by the store for that. All right, y'all. Any more questions or comments? Let's see. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, let me know what you got. Carolina Coops videos. Let me know what you got. See if you have any questions. I'm here to help you out. So just let me know what you need. Let's see. I'm looking for your questions, Carolina Coops. Let's see. Scrolling through. Fly on the graphic overlay. We got that. Okay. Trivia game. We got you covered. Okay. Can Keynote, okay, Keynote be updated? Yes, we got that covered. Let's see. Yeah, the mega bundle, that was kind of a year-end Black Friday, blah, blah, blah thing. It went pretty well. So probably what I'll wind up doing is maybe doing something like that twice a year as the store gets more stuff in it. Um, yeah, but the mega bundle, as it's known from before, is now gone, unfortunately, right? Yeah, but it'll something like that will probably be releasing at some other point soon. Just to give everybody a chance just to get everything in the store like that. Um, uh, yeah, everything in the Gumroad store can be customized with Keynote. If you're using Ecamm, that means you're on a Mac, which means you have Keynote, which means Keynote is free. And basically 95 to 99% of all the graphics I do are in Keynote, and I give you the Keynote file. Nothing is glued down. You buy the Keynote file, you can edit as you see fit. All the graphics also have instructional videos or PDF instructions to show you how to get through them. It's like a 24/7 help desk that you can always click that link and get the instructional video. So yeah, everything that's in the store is customizable. Um, the trivia video. Um, the trivia video is actually on my channel, I believe, showing you how the weight screen with the trivia questions. The game show thing is not a tutorial yet, but I guess I could do a tutorial on it. I haven't done a tutorial on that one yet. But the trivia questions, the literal trivia questions that were autoplay during the wait screen or the countdown screen, there is a tutorial for that on the channel. Uh, I need a little bit more in-depth question on that. Can it be used for online classes? I mean, yeah, if you did the play slideshow in window option, like I did for the game shows, you can easily make that for other learning environments, right? So you have that live slideshow on your screen. Now, here's another way to do that live slideshow. Let me go back to it real quick, right? So I'm doing it in this kind of format, but you can also do, why is that not working? Oh, there we go. Okay, you can also do a live slideshow where the window is, a different size or whatever, right? So I could be here and I can do play slideshow as an example. Let me just show you one of my other game show things, right? Play slideshow in window. So you can be here and have your learning information over here. You can do it with a overlay where it's in a nice, cool kind of window. If you look on my tutorials, there is a tutorial I did about using live Keynote presentations in your live stream, right? And it used overlays. I think this was before camera overlays existed, and it was before Keynote's play slideshow and window existed. So keep all that in mind. But the premise is the same, right? You have a live presentation that you can actually flip through and teach, right? Because I'm using my arrow key right now and, live flipping through the presentation, right? So I'm talking to you live. I'm showing the slideshow live, right? And so you can do all these things simultaneously if you use the Keynote function of play slideshow in window and Ecamm's function of camera overlays, right? So you can definitely do that. And those are options, right? So you can definitely do a live presentation or online classes with Keynote. Um, hey, brother Riley, how's it going, man? Yep. Yeah, live classes. You can definitely do that. Hopefully, the explanation I just gave works for that, right? But you can definitely do that. You can do live classes with Keynote in combination with the live stream, like I'm doing now, right? This is a live workshop, and I just showed you in my live workshop a live keynote presentation running alongside of me, and I was using my arrow key on my keyboard to flip between slides and talk to you live on my video, right? So all those things can be done. How did I make it the whole screen in Ecamm? Oh, hold on. That's this question. How did I make it the whole screen in Ecamm? Let's go back. Okay, right here, and there's an option once you do a screen share, there's an option. There's a little box that says crop to fill. So you want to click that. My desktop is really junky, but yeah. Oh, and if I do it now, it wouldn't work in Restream. But there's an option called, you know what, I'm gonna do a screen capture of it. Oh, it disappeared on me. Okay, well, it don't work. Let's see if I can screen capture it. No, it won't let me do it. All right. But once you share your screen, you're going to get a little control box that has different things on it to enlarge it, to reduce it. And as you see here, I have crop to fill clicked on. I unclick it, it just fits in the window. I click it, it makes it go down to the active window size of whatever you're sharing and makes it fill the whole screen. So it's that crop to fill checkbox. I want to make sure that you check that. All right. Cool. That's what I like to hear, that you were helped. I'd like that. Hey, Brother Dean, how's it going, man? All right, y'all. I am open for more questions. Let me make sure that I didn't skip anybody's question. Yes, keynote for live classes. Let me see if I can find my old trivia keynote file. Can y'all hear my stomach growling? Because it is really audible. Okay, let's go back to Keynote. All right, so this was my trivia design that I did. Now, these things autoplay, Shantiva. These will autoplay. And so let me just show you the first slide. So this is the slide here, right? Who is the best superhero? And what I did, let's go to build order. So it shows the question, shows all the answers, and after a delay, everything starts to fall away. Now, this would be going on during my pre-show. Then it would say Black Panther, right? So this is all autoplay. This is not a click with your mouse thing, right? This all would play during my pre-show. So it's all automated. I guess you could do this also as manual clicks if you wanted to, but it's set up now to autoplay. So actually, oddly enough, I guess I could. Let's do this. Play slideshow in window just for grins. Okay. Let's go back to this version. Right. So those things, it could autoplay that way. And if I kind of just had myself set up, as a skinny sidebar over here, right? Those are all options, right? And so there's definitely ways to do that, because now this is the custom size. So if I did myself like this, right, I would fit in that area. So you can do it this way too, right? Now, all these things were set up to autoplay. So let me go backwards. Let me go back to Keynote and let's flip back. Right, so this is an autoplay trivia question. They would all show up. I'm gonna turn that bubble off. Right, and then at some point, you would just go to the animation. Right, then it automatically went to the next scene, to the next scene, to the next scene. So you can also do a automated trivia type thing too. So there's definitely ways to make all that work. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's turn that off. Don't need that. Okay. Okay, are you laughing because you could hear my stomach growling? Or are you just laughing because I said that? Because it was audible. I was like surprised myself it was so loud. I should have ate lunch today. I skipped lunch. Okay. All right, y'all. We're rounding the corner now. We got about 15 minutes left. So I want to just make sure I'm not leaving anybody hanging. If anybody has anything pressing that they need need answers to a question, we can kind of workshop that. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that and just have it set up right where it automatically does it. And this was months ago. I designed this before I did my game shows, right? And it's kind of an evolution. I started with that. Okay, that's kind of cool, something to keep people engaged while they're waiting for the broadcast to start. But then I was like, okay, how do we engage people after we're in a broadcast, right? Some people want to ask questions or answer questions and interact. So those are definitely ways to do that. Awesome, awesome. I'd love to see it when you guys get that done. So yeah, and we can even talk about it here on the show. Yes, it's odd that you say that, right? I actually just today, literally today, signed up for my pro account with Canva. So I am literally all in now because I got money on it. So I'm going to start doing some Canva tutorials, showing people how to make lower thirds, make frame stuff like that. Now I will say this, and I will be saying it also in my Canva tutorial, because I just like being upfront, letting everybody know what's going on, whatever software I'm using. That's just how I am. I think you guys have kind of learned that from me. I give the good, the bad, whatever else it is about the software, right? So the thing about Canva, there's two things with Canva that has made me up until this point not use Canva at all, right? But I'm doing it now because people have asked me to. But there's two big things, are the reasons that I have not used Canva till today. And it's really still two big sticky points with me. One sticking point, you cannot subtract a shape from a shape in Canva. That is the core of making overlays, which are basically a rectangle with a shape subtracted from it. Canva can't do that. It just can't, right? So you need another application just to cut the hole out of your frames. That's kind of a no-no for me because, Keynote can do that. The other thing is you can't natively export transparent background PNG files from Canva without paying for it. It's not part of the free service. Even if you do a layout and design with no background fill, you can't just automatically export that as a PNG. Those are two kickers for me that have made me up until this point not really dive into Canva, but I'm going to use it as it is and show you guys how to best utilize it as it is with some helper apps to overcome some of the things that I think Canva can't do right now. And so it's good software. A lot of people use it. It's browser based. So a lot of people, PC and Mac use it. So I don't want to deprive my potentially PC community from learning cool things from me. So I'm jumping into Canva. So I will be doing that soon. Hey, brother Chris, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Brother Elo, how's it going? Appreciate that, Rob. Thank you. Thank you. I do my best to kind of put it where people can really take advantage of it and be empowered with what they're doing. So I appreciate that. Yeah, same thing, right? You can't export transparency native, right? Um, yeah, and so like I said, just like Brother Chris is saying here, he uses Canva. A lot of people use Canva, right? Now it's great for thumbnails. It's great for full screen animated videos, like for your intros or your end screens and stuff like that. Stuff that fills the screen where you don't need transparency. So there's definitely pluses to Canva because it has a lot of templates. I'm not really a template guy, but you can jump in and create something fairly quick. So it does have good, it's good. A lot of people use it, but just those two things that I mentioned are where my bread and butter is, right? How do you make a lower third? How do you make an overlay frame? You know, those kind of don't do it. Let me see. Yeah, I can definitely look at that. I know right now we're kind of rounding the corner for this to end, but let me see. I'll definitely do that one for next week because that's going to be more of an in-depth thing. I might be able to give it a quick cursory look right now. Let's do that real quick. Let's see. Um, let's go to YouTube. And I'll bring it in as a window and see. Miss Chocolate Twist. Let's go to your page real quick. Miss Yoga. There you go. And we're going to go to your channel. Okay, so now let's jump back into my teaching screen. Okay, so here we are on the Chocolate Twist Yoga. Awesome pose, and it does say yoga, but you need to put your title in this image. Also, I think you're playing right now. There we go. Pause that. Yeah, put your title in your banner. Tell people what they're going to get in a short tagline in your banner. Make it bold. Here's the thing. This is something that I tell everybody with their YouTube channels. You want the right people to feel like they're at home. You want the wrong people to run away as soon as they get to your channel. So as soon as somebody gets to your channel, who are you talking to? Is it people that have a hard time moving? Are you talking to people that have stiff joints? Are you talking to people that's trying to get into yoga that are over 50? I have no idea who they are. So your banner needs to talk to the people you want on your channel and make everybody else run away, right? Because if I only work out using kettlebells or running, I should come to your channel and be able to read in your banner if that page is for me or not. And I need to run away if it's not for me. I need to feel like I'm at home if I'm there, right? And your graphic can do that for you. So definitely put some text in your banner with the name of your channel, who you're serving in a short, quick way. And I'm not touting myself, but you guys are actually on my YouTube channel watching this. But I'm gonna give it here as an example. And I need to turn off my video for sure. Okay. But like here, it's real basic, but I'm telling people graphic creation tutorials for live streamers. If that don't fit you, you should run away. You know, as soon as you hit my page, who I'm helping, what I'm doing, and what it's about, right? And so you definitely want to say that in your channel art. You want to say that in your tagline, your introductory video, because right now it's showing that live that we're doing right now. But if you are not a subscriber to my channel, you see a video of me explaining what my channel is about. And if you're not using Keynote, and I need to maybe change my video now. If you're not using Keynote or Canva or Live Streamer, there's no real reason for you to be on my channel. And quite honestly, I don't know if I want you there because I'm not going to serve you as well as I should. Right. So keep those things in mind when you're doing your channel art and those kind of things. Right. And yes, design matters, but saying who you're serving and saying who you are very important. You want the right people to feel at home. You want the wrong people to run away. So think about that when you're doing that, right? Yeah. In a paid account, Canva does do that. I was talking about natively. It doesn't natively allow you to export with transparency, which is a downer because Keynote will let you do that for free, right? Keynote is free software. And not that I'm trying to take Canva out of business. Canva has great attributes. I'm not trying to take anybody away from Final Cut Pro or After Effects, but that's the lane that I'm in, right? The Keynote lane, showing you how to make pro level graphics with free software. So, and Canva does have a free option. You can do some stuff with that, but just those things it won't do natively are a little bit of a kicker. Let's see what we say here. To do a moving lower third, I had to use green. Yeah, right. In Canva, you do have to do that, right? So, but you don't have to do that with Keynote, right? But if you're a PC person, right, you can't use Keynote, which I don't know if somebody's in the house or somebody may be watching this on replay one day. If you can get me to the table or on the phone with the developers of Keynote, I have some awesome ideas that can really take Keynote to the next level to help you serve more people. So I'm just going to put that out into the stratosphere, out into the interwebs. Let's make that hookup happen. I need to talk to the Keynote people. Keynote people, call me. Let's make it happen, y'all. We can do some cool things together. And I think we can serve a lot more people with just a few tweaks to a few things to really make it work. All right, so let's see. I updated Keynote and follow your instructions that you just said. And it is still not a transparent background. So weird. Okay. That I can't answer that. So slide, transparent background, export as movie, Apple ProRes 4444. 4 fours. Transparency box clicked. And you're bringing it into the overlay window, not the use as video window, because that could be the last telltale sign. Make sure you're dragging it to the overlay window, because sometimes if you drag it onto the screen, sometimes depending if you got audio in it or some other kind of thing, it may ask you, how do you want to use it? Make sure you want to use it as an overlay, not as a video source. That could be the last thing I'm thinking about that it could be doing it. Yeah, and if it started with a white background, that means that there's something else wrong. Make sure you click off of everything and that each slide says no fill. If you want to, even send me the Keynote file, send me the .key file, and I'll look at the actual file pre-export to see what's going on. So definitely, you can bring that to me, send that to me. All right. Cool. Glad that helped. Appreciate that. Yes, flexible. I don't want to leave people out. I want to serve as many people as I can. I know, and I'm saying it out into the interwebs now, that Canva may not ever be my wheelhouse, but I want to teach people how to use it because people are using it. And I do want to actually serve a broader audience. I know there's some PC people out there, unfortunately. Mac is better. Ecamm is great. Okay, so, but I know some PC people out there, and I just want to help who I can, right? Animated overlay. So are you saying you want me to show you how to do an animated overlay? I can show you how to do an animated overlay real quick. Yeah, that's a good way to close out the day. So let's go back here. And I'm going to go a brand new Keynote file, new. Starting off with a basic white presentation. Select everything, delete. And let me knock the size down a little bit so I can see everything. Yeah, y'all on the screen with me. Okay. Animated overlay for Phil. Let's make it happen, Phil. Okay. So animated overlay. Let's do a real basic one, right? So let's go background. And I'll make this blue. Let's go. We're going to cut a hole in it. I'll make that a different color so you know I cut a hole in it. All right. Format, shapes and lines, subtract shapes, right? It's white. I don't want it white. So I click off of everything. Background fill, no fill. Should turn it black. Okay. So I'm going to go to object list. I'm going to do a real basic animated overlay right now. So I'm going to copy my shape, option drag 2 more times, right? I'm going to make the top one red, make the middle one gold, leave the bottom one blue. So for each one, I'm going to do, so the gold one, let's go to animate, add an effect, and we're going to go to iris. That's fine. We're going to go to red, add an effect, iris. So let's go to build order now. Let's do this. I like to name mine RG. Okay. So the first one that should animate is the gold one. And we're going to go after transition, 2 seconds. And then the red one will go after that, 2 seconds. Now let's preview it. So it's going to start blue, gold will come in, red will come in, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the red one, first I'm going to make the gold one disappear. So let's go back to gold and build out, disappear. And then the red one, build out, will iris in reverse order. Okay, so let me show you what I did. Gold fades, red fades. I want the gold one to disappear because when the red one goes away, I'm going to create a loop, right? And then red goes after that. We're going to do that 1.75 seconds because the disappearing took a little bit of the time. So let's watch it again. Starts off blue, animate, the gold one disappeared, then the red one goes back, right? And so now when I export this as an Apple ProRes movie, file, export, movie, 00, Apple ProRes 4444, and I'm doing a bunch of dashes over. Export that. Now this is just one way to do an animated overlay, right? Now you can't, I'm gonna let you know now, you can't do a movie overlay because you can't cut a hole in a movie in Keynote, right? That's the one thing Keynote can't do that After Effects and stuff like that can do. But if you want a actual movie as an overlay, you can mask that, right, by doing a movie background with a camera overlay, right? So that's another way to do that. But let's go back to our main window and look for the over animation. So there's the overlay. And this, I set it up to loop, right? So this is an animated overlay. So you can do any kind of animation. I've done it with colors. I've done animations with pictures and different things like that, right? So those are different ways that you can do an animated overlay. And I have to sneeze. Hold on a second. Thought I had to sneeze. Do have to sneeze. All right. All right. So that's the animated overlay. Cool. I don't know how do we use both. Cool. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all are too good. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. It is 3:02. So I'm going to officially wrap this up unless we have any last minute questions. Thank you for coming in and spending this hour with me. I had a great time with you all. I hope you had a great time with me. Please do not forget, if you look in the description of this live, you will see a link to the form where you can submit your questions or submit screen captures of your video or a link to your video. I'll screen capture it myself on the different aspects that I'm going to talk about. But you can easily submit your questions there to make sure that they're answered, right? Because if it's a heavy day and the hour goes by and I can't get to you, I'm going to try to get to everybody I can. But if you're in the form, I'm guaranteed to get to you. If you're here early and you're hanging out with me, I'm going to do my best to get to your question. But use that form, send me links to your videos and or screen captures, and I can review those. So hopefully this was helpful for you all. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Yeah, well, let me go back since you asked the question. The animation you saw, which is this, it is a movie. It is a movie file. It is an MOV file with a transparent background, right? That's what this is. I just did an animation in Keynote and exported it as a Apple ProRes 4444 video, right? And I can do that because I can make transparent videos in Keynote. Now, some people, well, I don't want to use terms that get interchanged, right? Like I'm talking right now, right? I'm on video. So if I had this literally, a video of me, and I brought it into Keynote, I couldn't cut a hole into this video and use it as an overlay, right? But if it's something I can animate in Keynote, I can export it as a Apple ProRes 4444 video, right? I can also export it as an animated GIF, which I don't need to because Ecamm will use videos, right? Transparent background videos. Other apps will not use transparent background videos or videos with transparent pieces in it. So you have to export as a GIF file, right? So yeah, this is just one of the functions and the cool things about Ecamm that I can use videos with transparency. And I think I actually have, let me show you a literal video with transparency. See if I can find one. Yeah, I had a video last time. I forgot where I saved it. Because it was actually a motion background that had some transparency to it, but who knows where it is. And I'll give a few more seconds to look for it. I don't want to keep y'all hanging just to look for that. But I'll make sure that I find it for next time. Because I actually have videos with transparency in them that can be used for that, right? And you all saw one last week when I pulled a video in and it had animation going around it. This was a stock video that I used for some different things, right? That might make it easier to find. Actually use the right name for it. Yeah, but I had a video that had transparency in it that could be used for different stuff. And let's see if that's one. And both of those are solid background. Okay, here we go. So let me do this video. So this is a video with the hole cut out of it, right? It's a literal video with a hole in it versus a presentation animation with that I brought in as a video. So this is a video that I made to use on different things. So this is a literal video with a hole cut in it versus the the rectangular overlay from Keynote. No, can an overlay be not yet? I've seen some other apps that say they can do it, but I haven't actually seen them in action yet. Where, like you see here, you see my buy me a coffee and that kind of stuff. Can you click that and actually go to buy me a coffee and those kind of things? Not yet. They're going to have to be text links in the comments. Some people have widgets that are clickable. They say I'm still experimenting with that, but as of right now, there's no universal thing that I've seen that's easy, and easy is relative, that makes clickable links for live videos. But yeah, when they get more consistent with it and more mainstream with it, I'll definitely be using those. All right, y'all. So that is it. Parting is always so hard, but got to do it. So until next time, I am Bradley Vinson of Bradley Teaches, Alana's Pawpaw. Be blessed, be free, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. See y'all next week. Don't forget to use the form. Have an awesome week. And that's all, y'all. Peace. See y'all later. Bye-bye.